Welcome back to the Married at First Sight Season 12 Episode 8 review. This is Couples Couch with
Pat.
And I'm Cam. Let's get into this week's episode. This episode was so dry. It was drier than Popeye's biscuit. It was just very dry. It took a lot. How long did it take you to watch this episode? Because I know we didn't even watch it together.
Well, that's a whole segment of the show.
Why we didn't? We'll tell you later in the show why we didn't watch
Pat
it together.
and Cam,
yeah,
and what a real married argument is. We'll let you in later.
But how long did it take you?
Probably 3 hours.
And it was recorded in our DVR, and it still took you 3 hours.
I can only watch like 10 minutes at a time.
It's so dry that it made us change the format of this show. We're not going to offer a recap of what happened in last week's episode. If you want to see what happened in last week's episode, the link is in the description box below for episode 7. Let's just jump right into episode 8. All right, let's jump into episode 8. So again, if you don't know by now, this is a high-level overview. We do not get into every single detail what happened in the show. We just pull out points that are interesting to the storyline of the show, pretty much, right?
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Okay, are you here with me?
I'm here.
Are you awake?
I'm ready for some content to go.
Okay. I'm getting into it. Let's jump right into it.
I tried to talk about you. I want to talk about the couples.
Okay, let's do it. So in episode 8, the show opens up with the couples kind of like, starting their day. And they go right back to Brianna and Vincent. If you remember last week, the show ended with Vincent walking out because he spilled the champagne everywhere. And he got offended because Brianna said that was very Vincent of you, that he got some champagne on his shirt. And he was pretty done with her and her smart comment. So the show opens up back at their apartment. He is laying in bed and he asked her, or she asked him, are you upset with me, or are you okay? And he says, no, I'm not okay.
I shouldn't tell you every single time you're saying something rude.
Like when I commented on your shirt, I wasn't laughing at you. And we were both laughing in that moment because, the champagne spilled and I thought it was funny. And I didn't mean anything by, the comment that's so vinny of you.
Okay.
I mean, Brianna clearly was like, I didn't mean anything by it. I wasn't trying to offend you. She thought it was like a fun moment. He spilled champagne everywhere. She was making a little jokey joke. And apparently he was not here for it, y'all.
Man up. Man up, bro.
I know. He said he got to the parking garage and turned back after he realized he can't leave Cookie and Brianna, the dog. And it was just like, okay, if that's what it takes for you to just leave the apartment like that over the smallest thing,
then I'll be in a hotel right now.
You'll be in an extended stay.
Right now. Weekly. My rent would be weekly. I'd have been gone last night.
I'm telling you. Because, you can't be in your feelings to that degree where you just want to leave.
No, you could be in your feelings.
To that degree where you want to leave?
You can't threaten leaving.
Yeah, you really
can't. I've never understood that. If I'm here, I'm here.
Yeah.
We can fight, but we got to fight
yeah.
Did your mother ever say I'm not gonna be your mom when she got mad at you?
Right.
When you love someone, you don't threaten leaving.
Yeah, who raised you? I'm just kidding. But seriously, okay, you were being extra.
Streets for some of these people.
You were being extra Vincent in this one. You really were. And I know it could have been a build up from, all of the other things that she may have said, which like you were thinking, they only been together 2 weeks. So
how much could she say?
Yeah, but
my only concern is what happens when she really does disrespect him. Because it happens.
Oh, he's gonna lose it.
You don't disrespect each other, but you say things that are more than just that's so vinny of you.
It's in your head and it accidentally comes out your mouth. You're not trying to chop anybody down at the knee. It's in here and come out here. And then, spoken words can't be taken back, so. The next scene is another Popeye's biscuit dry scene. And
the tone in your voice, I almost perked up. I thought I was we was doing the news. Hold up. She got on professional on me.
I'm sorry.
I'm in a Virginia mood right now. I'm not in a professional mood.
Well, because the next scene shows Eric walking 2 dogs, one which don't belong to him, and then there is Ryan coming up with Claire's dog, and they bump into each other on accident, and they start talking about how Virginia's away at a wedding for a few days and where their marriage is, and it was so dry I can't even remember what they said, and I think I took note.
Does Eric's dog do anything?
Eric's dog,
it just stood there,
was present but absent at the same.
Yeah, it didn't do nothing. And then Virginia's dog was licking him in his face. Like,
I think he was trying to get the tea. He was trying, like, exactly what's going on here.
I'm not walking nobody's dog. I'm not doing it.
I don't know. That scene was dry, so dry we're not gonna even get into it.
It's not like you had saucy individuals in the scene.
Let's move on to the next.
Ryan might be the driest person definitely on this season.
Are you done?
No.
I done said let's move on. I done gave the
You can move on. I can keep talking. You can fade me out. You gonna play music? This ain't the Grammys.
All right, the next few scenes show some of the couples meeting up with their friends. First, they kick it off with Chris meeting up with his pastor and his friend to tell them what has been going on with him. He hasn't given them the update on what all been going on and the decision he made.
Time out before we get too much. That's his friend?
Yeah, the pastor, and then the other guy is his friend.
I thought that was his brother because his friend looked like his daddy. No, does not.
You might be. I thought it said friend, but drop in the comment section below. Was that the pastor? Listen, this is a lot. I can't be keeping up with who's who related to who. You know, pastor and them. Like, they all came like, what you want? Like,
so we don't know if that's.
Why
I think it's.
You would have known had you watched the show with me.
So now is.
So let's slide in exactly why me and you end up watching the show separate. And this is some real married stuff.
Because you kicked me out.
I didn't kick you out. I asked you to come and watch the show with me.
No, you didn't.
In our bedroom.
No, you didn't. Already you telling fables.
I did ask you to come in that room and watch it.
No, you didn't.
What did I do?
What happened was I went into the room. Okay, because we got a TV in the garage, and y'all know I smoke the e-cigarette thing. I don't do it in the house. So when we're watching the show, I was telling her I'm watching in the garage, but we're gonna watch it at the same time. And on the breaks,
same time. I don't know you like that.
And on the breaks, or when something interesting happens, I'll run inside and we'll talk it up and do our thing. Right, that's not what you wanted to do. And when I went into and another caveat to this, Kamara watches TV in the bed, like in the bedroom.
Doesn't everybody?
No, it's not comfortable. I don't want to sit in the bed. Anyway, so I don't like to. I would rather sit on the couch without her saying, "I want you in here."
His energy was in, right, y'all?
No, I went ahead. I didn't even go back. I just went over and sat down on this little bench in the room, and we started watching.
30 seconds into the show, our son comes in and says he wants some cereal.
It wasn't 30 seconds. It was 30
longer. Seconds.
It was a lot.
34 seconds into
No,
the show.
It was minutes into the show.
PJ comes in. Can I have some cereal? I'm like, sure. Patrick, you might as well go ahead and get the cereal because you didn't want to come in here to start with. No way. So just this is your out. Go on and go. This fool left with a whole ass attitude and didn't watch the show. I stayed up till 11:30 watching the show and taking notes just for this fool to be out in the garage. Sleep.
I fell asleep.
Sleep.
No. It's not just that. I took her car to get the registration day yesterday.
Oh, you were not going through this. I'm done.
Don't stop the recording. Hello? No. So you want me in there bad enough for her to get up and go get PJ some cereal?
Not the case.
That's what happened.
You're living in Patrick's reality.
That's the only reality that matters to me.
So So Chris is seen telling the pastor and his friend that he made the decision to get a divorce, and he goes into detail, like a quick recap of what happened or what emotions or what he went through since wedding night to present time.
This week, I did ask for a divorce from Paige. To be honest with you, when she came down the aisle, it was awkward for me standing there at the altar. I wasn't fully attracted to her.
He just trying to be disrespectful.
I'm like, okay, so he admits that when she walked down the aisle, though, she wasn't his type.
But he still want to lay her down to get entangled in
an entanglement.
Bulls.
And he found out even through the entanglement that she still wasn't his type. So listening to his recap further makes me believe that he is full of it.
Yeah.
He's totally full of it, and he doesn't want to divorce Paige solely because he's having a kid. He wants to divorce Paige because he don't like her.
Yeah.
That's, if you really sit there and use your listening skills, you can hear him say
it's taking you this long in skills.
Paige still ain't seen it. Heard it.
As long as you're not deaf, you would have known the day after they got married he didn't like her. She was just so thirsty, and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But she was so thirsty.
Yeah.
She ran him down and was willing to deal with all
kind of foolish.
I would never advise any female to deal with what she was dealing with ever.
Yeah.
In no circumstance.
Not never. Yeah. I totally agree. So the pastor actually made me pretty proud. He was like, you know what? I don't agree with your decision to divorce Paige.
It's a very premature move. I think it's selfish. I think it's embarrassing to his family, her family. I think he should hang in there, and to make a decision to leave is extremely immature.
Like, I think that this is a very selfish, like, he called him out. He was like, this is a very premature decision. It's very selfish. You're very immature.
I'm done with this conversation.
and then Chris shuts down.
I don't want to talk anymore.
He shuts down. Like, he got so rude. And then he does one of these. Then we enter first grade.
Beta.
Okay, so we do this and we not here no more. We automatically disappear out the room once we hit him with one of these.
This is a really selfish decision.
It's not selfish.
It's selfish to say I'm going to walk away. I'm going to leave the marriage. That's selfish.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm really done.
I still can see you.
He hit him with one of these, y'all, and he disappeared.
And time out. I'm not going to go completely off, but what do you mean you done with this conversation? You called me over here to your house and you set up these director chairs.
Yes.
In here.
Yes. How you gonna
maybe
call
that's
me over?
modern chic, but you got director folder chairs that I know are the producers' chairs that they pulled out of the van, and you, I'm here for you.
You turning Bill Cosby?
Yeah, you. Like, are you out of your biscuit?
Popeye's biscuit.
Come on, bro.
I'm like, you can't invite me over here and then hit me with one of these.
I'm just done.
How old are we? And then he pulls out his phone. I was about to pull my phone out, but here we are recording on it. He pulls out his phone like, yeah, I'm done with this.
I'm done with this conversation.
I was too through.
No disrespect.
And that right there shows how immature he is.
That shows. See, I would never be able to hang out with him.
Oh,
we couldn't interact.
No, I be calling him
because as soon as you pull that
immature,
wolves don't run with dogs.
Facts. Let's move on to the next scene. Next scene shows Haley meeting up with her friend for lunch, and she goes into telling her friend that she's been through a roller coaster of emotions
with her lying ass.
Yeah, she's definitely.
What was it that made you pull back?
Like his obsession with the 80s, and then like he brought all this like goofy stuff to wear, and like that's what you thought to bring on your honeymoon. Like
Okay? So, what else? Because all I'm hearing right now is that he doesn't dress well. And you don't like his style. So what else?
You don't like his 80s. You don't like the stuff he wears. You
Yeah.
think he's a dork.
Yeah.
That's why you didn't invite him to go down the last night of the honeymoon. And that's why you keep sticking to this lame story. Like, and then a couple of the husbands came down. So why you didn't call him? Why you didn't text him? You don't like him.
You're right.
Yep.
You're right.
Listen, be honest with me, but don't treat me like I'm dumb.
So what I was going to say was that she told her friend, that she started to pull back after the wedding day and, everything started calming down and that, she started to pull back. What is that?
That's what she started pulling back after.
I cannot. I can't. So her friend asked her what made her pull back, and she brought up everything you just went on a rant and said. Because he, is obsessed with the 80s, because he brought goofy clothes to the honeymoon, and the friend was like, okay, so all I'm hearing right now is he doesn't dress well. Even her friend can pick up on the BS and is like, okay,
yes.
You're not telling me nothing. So you pull back because of his style? That don't make no good sense. And then she tried to follow it up with what happened on the last night. But that you keep omitting the fact that there's a hole here in your story, Mama.
And you would think
you pull back for some reason.
And you would think after walking 7 long years in the Sahara Desert, she would be a little thirstier and show some affection.
But she don't like him. It's clear.
Thank you.
Yeah.
If you liked him, then you would reciprocate somewhat.
It feels like Paige and Chris.
Yes. Just tell him you don't like him and y'all just chill, hang out.
Ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Let's move on to the next scene. That was dry too. Next scene shows Eric meeting up with his friends, and he voices his concerns about Virginia going out a lot and being so independent and doing her own thing. The same storyline from last 2 episodes. Okay, we get it. His friend says to be mindful to not talk down to her because it will come off more like a coaching session versus a marriage. Eric,
but she needs somebody to coach her.
She needs some grooming, some guidance, she needs this. She needs. Because she's still very young-minded. Eric said that the demise of them will be her not wanting to compromise on her party lifestyle and wanting to go back to her old life. What were you about to say?
I'm not going to say it.
I just feel like it's the same storyline. They dragging this now. Like, you know what I mean? Or is it me? Or am I running out of patience?
No, they setting it up.
Oh, that's what they're doing.
Yeah, because this is all, she told you herself, this is all Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday night is about to come. And like she said, they turn up Thursday.
Sorry, go ahead. Yes, I'm listening.
This is why we got into it last night.
Next scene shows Vincent goes to meet with his friend to just kind of meet up and talk about his marriage so far. He goes into how direct Brianna is and how he chooses his words very delicately.
I am very delicate how I communicate with my wife. And that's how I wish she would be with me.
At your worst moments, have you felt like going home?
What do you think about these delicate conversations?
Listen. It's just a personal preference.
Okay, we want to hear your personal preference.
I would like it if when referring to me in any fashion, the word delicate is not used. I don't want to be delicate.
Is a very delicate soul.
Yeah. Guy.
I don't know. I'm like, okay, I understand he kind of, and I guess when he used the word delicate, he's trying to say, he's
sensitive. He's sensitive.
Okay, well there it is. I was gonna say he takes a walk around the park before he gets to what he's trying to get to, whereas other people are just like, boom, there it is. We don't got time for all that extra, beat around the bush kind of conversation.
He's sensitive.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. That's exactly what it is. So Vincent tells his friend that the reason, that they kind of clash sometimes is because of her, how she says things so direct. I guess he goes on to tell him about how he opened the champagne and it spilled everywhere, and she said, "That's so Vinny of you," and how he got offended, and his friend was like, "So you got mad because of that?" Even his friend was like, "That was just kind of whack for you to get really upset about. Like, that is so minor in the big scheme of things. It really is." And he's like, "No, it's just how it was said," and you know,
in a joking manner.
And he looked like he was getting ready to get mad at his friend at the table.
I'm telling y'all, there's something there. Vinny's sensitive.
Yeah.
And got a problem controlling his
emotions.
Temper.
Yeah. He needs to get out of his feelings and get out of his head. And that's all I got to say about that. You just need a man up.
Eat it sometimes, yo.
Yeah. The next few scenes shows the couples meeting up as a group. So, like, the girls meet up and then the guys meet up separately for lunch. Claire mentions to the girls that Ryan and her got into like their first argument because they were at a birthday party for her friend, and they offered him a Jello shot, and he said no, but they were like playfully like, "You have to," you know, kind of like that little peer pressure, and he really didn't like it. He shut down, and she said that he went into his feelings and started to say that her and her friends party too much and all this other stuff. And she was just like, "Yo, like, you need to like let your hair down a little bit. Like, a Jello shot ain't gonna kill you. I understand if you don't want to take it. Just be like, nah, I'm straight." And even if they like pressure, like, "Yo, I'm good." Laugh it off. Play it off. I personally am not a drinker. Everybody around me drinks. I don't care what you want to do. You offer me a drink all the time. They make a joke and they be like, "Oh, you know, she ain't gonna drink nothing, blah." You damn right. I don't want to feel hungover. I don't like it. So I'm not drinking. So that's my preference. Let me live in peace. But I'm not going to shut down and get in my feelings, you know, in the middle of a party about it.
It's not just the fact he doesn't drink. Like, I don't think you're cool or not cool or...
Yeah, no way.
Because you drink.
Yeah, no way.
It's just his whole mentality towards any kind of fun. Hell, his own wife is begging for some attention. And he won't give it to her. Right. He keep going.
Right. Because he has his rules and his ways and his, you know, so.
Again, what is in the water?
I have no idea, but we're going to move on to the next one because I'm not even going to give Ryan and his dry self any energy. Next scene goes on to Haley talking about her marriage with the girls. Saying how she's trying to make it work. Meanwhile, at the other scene with the guys, Jake is telling the guys how he's worried that, you know, in the beginning he put all his energy into it, all his, his feelings into the marriage up front, and then Haley pulled back, and then he feels like he's worried that they may flip later down, later in the marriage where Haley will be putting her all into it, and now he's shut down because of what she did to him.
Yeah.
And that's typically how it works. I mean, not in marriage. No, I mean like in relationships, new relationships, because, you know, if you don't start off even, then it becomes unequally yoked.
Were we unequally yoked when we started?
We both came in with the same ass energy. That's the point. We didn't come in like me heavy on you and you like, "Yo, I'm good." You know what I mean? But then it'll flip. It has the potential to flip where the person will be like, "Okay, now I'm ready to let my guard down and be like heavy on you." And you're like, "Nah, I'm straight." Because when I was trying to...
You was playing me.
You was trying to play me, son. So I'm like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
You know? I know what I'm talking about.
I mean, you know, doctor. I don't know how much of this has any practical application in the world. Like, you flips. Sometimes.
I'm no Dr. Viviano or Dr. Pepper, but yes. Yeah, we won't get into that.
Last. Okay. I know a couple people on this show, the experts. Chris.
So then
Ryan.
The next conversations that were happening was Ryan telling the group that he is slow to trust and how he kind of keeps a buffer to avoid getting hurt. So maybe that's why he's so slow going in his ways. I don't know. Maybe he's just really trying to protect his feelings. but it comes off dry. You know what I mean? Like,
but see, and I gotta call BS on this again. If you trying to protect your feelings, then why are you going on a show where you marry somebody you don't know?
Yeah, then if that's the case, then you
that's
should stay in your house and mind your own business.
Then lock yourself up, play Doom or whatever video game, World of Warcraft or whatever, because Ryan. Yeah.
Next scene shows Virginia has now returned home. They're in the kitchen talking about how her trip went and their communication during the time that she was away. And Eric says, like, the communication went well, right? Like, what we did during the day was okay, texting every hour or two.
I think what we did throughout the day, though, normally, that's all I want. Like, and that wasn't that bad, right? I mean, I wasn't asking for much. Yeah. We talked every hour or two. Yeah. Just, hey, I'm doing this. Blah, blah. I'm just glad where we're at.
That's a whole lot of texting.
Yeah.
I mean, when we're at work, pre-COVID, I wasn't texting you every hour. Because that's really the only time, like, I'm really away. Like, every hour, every 2 hours, and this is, like, on a day where I'm not in meetings and stuff like that, and I would just be working at my desk. Like, I'm not going to text you that often.
If you did, you have a whole lot of unanswered texts.
And what can we talk about so much? Like, I need to build up a story
I need to miss you. You know what I mean? Like, I need to miss you a little bit.
I need to miss you. I need some things to happen around me so I can have something to talk about.
Yeah.
With you, because at this point you know everything that's happening with me because you're right here
all the time. 20.
Like, how can you even enjoy your time away if you're texting every hour, every 2 hours?
First of all,
am I even present over here? I think he's a little overbearing in this sense.
Well, he gotta be.
Yeah, that's true.
With her,
make sure she's still sober.
You might lose your chick in 15 minutes with her.
You know what this reminds me of, and if you have watched the Netflix series, it's called Behind Her Eyes, where he had to call his wife at 11:30 and then at 2:30 because she was a junkie. Like, he wanted to make sure that she was always home. He would call the house phone. Like, maybe junkies are a hard word to use, but she did heroin.
Yeah, that's a junkie.
Oh, okay. The needle. Yeah, so he wanted to make sure she was there, so he would always call.
He wanted to make sure his stuff was there.
And if you haven't watched that Netflix series,
are you okay? You doing okay? Turn the phone towards my TV. All right. That's a junkie.
Y'all need to watch that series.
They never kill a junkie.
7 episodes or something. It's actually really crazy. It's good though.
What do you be watching in that room?
All kinds of crazy stuff. Let's move on to the next scene. The next scene shows Paige getting a phone call from Chris asking her to, if she's available, to meet up to have just a hash it out conversation with his ex.
Not today, boy. How they do it? Hell no! You calling my phone?
So that's how you would have handled that situation.
Not today.
And she's like, "Well, I have to think about it," and that was that in that scene. But we all know that she was gonna go. Next few scenes shows the couples having housewarming parties. First up is Haley and Jake. They seem to be having a good time with their friends. They're having drinks. Jake's.
Only time Haley like Jake is when she drinking.
It's true. And she drinks a lot too. Yeah, she does.
A lot of them drink a lot.
Yeah, I guess drinking is a thing. Okay, so Jake tells her friends that they were intimate, which is like, yo, why you telling my business? And she pulled back and he started to doubt himself, like, is he not good enough? Her friends say that, she tends to pull back.
Wait, time out. Is he not good enough at what?
In general, he didn't get into details. He was just saying, you just start self-doubting.
Like,
maybe she doesn't like me.
The way you set that statement up. They laid down and she was like, why you say that? Then she pulled back. Then he started to doubt himself.
Overall,
did you see something in her face that we don't see?
Me?
Yeah.
I didn't see nothing. Blink 2 times, Haley, if you're okay. And so anyway, her friends say that when Haley gets too close, she tends to pull back. And that was pretty much their housewarming party, and they just kind of hung out.
Why do all these people get on these shows with all this baggage?
I know, and why they be telling their friends all day, like, business. Like, he didn't have to go tell them that they were intimate. Like, I feel like that's, like, you in my business? Don't do that.
That's your wife. What do you...
Don't tell my
I feel like someone said, "Oh, Patrick, you and Kamara, y'all still?" I'm like, "Yeah, idiot!" Like, duh.
Well, you wouldn't go tell him.
I do it all the time.
Oh, shut up! No,
when I used to, before I got hurt, when we go to football games, that's like, you know, I used to tell you we go there an hour early to warm up. That's all we do. We just sit in a circle and tell each other's business. Like, yo, that's why I miss it. I don't miss playing. I just miss the conversations.
Shut up. Next up is Virginia and Eric's party, their housewarming party. Virginia's good guy friends come over.
What's up?
Long time no see. Lane, Cole.
Lane, nice to meet you. Eric, great. Lane,
Cole.
There we go.
This was a big thing for me to meet Virginia's friends because they're guy friends. I'm a little weary about stuff like that.
And they're taking shots and they're talking. And Virginia's friend takes Eric outside and offers some advice to him.
And this is where I knew me and Eric are built different.
And I guess with Virginia, my biggest advice would be is try your best not to come off as controlling.
So why y'all so different?
Go ahead, tell me, suggest to me what I should do with my wife.
Eric,
I'm gonna listen. No, but he was intent. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The good guy friend said that he should try not to be controlling over Virginia because, you know, he did mention that they hang out every night or almost every weekend.
That shit gonna change.
That's gonna have to end, bro. Like, she's my wife now. Yeah. We're married now. So we not doing this.
I don't know that I handle myself in the manner that people would feel comfortable coming and telling me how I should deal with my wife and why they deserve to hang out with her all this time and how it's okay for her to sleep on their couch
every night
and then plan on walking out of this party
with 2 good knees.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
That's right, but I'm not.
Next housewarming party is Clara and Ryan. Clara's friends couldn't make it, so she invited Brianna and Haley to her party, and they stayed for a little bit with her. Ryan speaks to Clara's friends and tells him that, you know, Clara says he doesn't live in the moment or doesn't really know how to let his hair down, and he said it's because he is very calculated in every approach.
Boring.
No one's saying to be out here in these streets, Ryan, but at least can you
lay your wife down,
stick out your booty?
Man, it's so ugh.
I know, so that I'm gonna skate right past his party
because
there was nothing going on here. Let's move on to the next final few scenes of this episode.
Yep.
Last housewarming party they show is Vincent and Brianna's. Brianna and Vincent's mothers, they come over with his brother. Like, their family comes over for the party. They play a little game. You know, they try to guess each other's favorite color. Could this episode be any more dry? Like, what? It's like, Jesus. You're going to guess my favorite color, my favorite snack, my dream vacation.
Anywhere but here.
In this episode. Yeah. I'm like, if I go to Patrick's parents' house right now and give him a card to guess my favorite color, I'm going to be in that room by myself because nobody cares.
I got to tell you what my mom's going to say.
What's she going to say?
Nobody cares your favorite color. And we don't.
And they don't, and they mean it.
What is knowing your favorite color going to do for me?
It's not going to change the price of tea in China, that's for sure.
That's another good one. I like that.
You know, there's the old soul in me.
Long as you... Yo, This was the
driest episode in the world.
I'm sorry.
So after they done figured out who liked Ritz crackers and Cheez-Its,
where's your in the answers? Where's your dream vacation? Florida.
What part of Florida? Like, I'm from Florida. Like,
and don't nobody want to go to Florida.
There's nothing there. I mean, there's nothing in Orlando.
Disney.
That's why I'm in Texas now. And people at Disney don't want to be there.
And they open in Texas.
Floridians don't want to be there. I should say that.
That's how bad the episode was. We should talk about local politics. They letting all these folks out in the streets with no masks.
Mask up,
help!
Texans.
Help!
Mask up, mask up. No, but seriously, the driest, so dry. We're gonna skate past this one too.
Yeah.
You got anything?
No.
I got nothing. Let's move on to the next scene. Next scene shows Paige and Chris and his ex. They all meet up for a Ponderosa. And Paige says, whatever you want to know, I'm an open book. She reveals that Chris said that his fear was falling in love with her. I think she tried to slide that little bit of shade in there, like, just a little bit. Nothing to burn nobody or nothing, but she just wanted to put that out there that he did say that. And that she as well could be pregnant by Chris. The ex was like, pregnant by who?
Chris did tell me that they were intimate. But somebody being pregnant, that's a whole different type of intimacy that he didn't tell me about that. By Chris?
By who?
Listen, all she been through, this would have been the one time that if she'd be like, I'm pregnant too. Knowing that she ain't, I still would have been cool with it.
Just to have all of them fall out of their seats.
Yeah,
that would have been great.
Oh, I would have let it go on for a little bit.
And then Chris's energy in this moment is giving childish behavior vibes.
I don't know if he thought he was gonna like look good in this or ooh, look what I got. But bro, you just look sad.
Yeah. And no shade to his ex, but I can't get past her leave out that kept separating from the sewing every time she would do one of these. I mean, this is, because I look at stuff like that, and I don't know if you noticed it, but the leave out it kept doing one of them. It was trying to make an appearance as well on the show. Hey, leave out. So, this situation is definitely giving me Love and Hip Hop New York, Peter Gunn's Amina and Tara vibes, especially because the ex has like that Amina lisp to go. It's definitely giving all of that in this moment. But what I can say positively, I'm about to call her Amina and Tara. The ex and Paige, they are actually being very mature in the moment and actually really talking through the issue, whereas Chris is being
Chris, a little boy.
So the ex makes it very clear to Paige that her intention is not to pursue anything with Chris.
And I wanted to make it very clear. Mm-hmm. Me and him working it out, that's not my intentions right now at all.
Okay, well, this is a shock. If you're not reconciling things with the mother of your child, then what was the real reason we're getting a divorce?
Yeah, sure. And they broke up and...
Now they got
a baby.
But what gave me life was that laugh that Paige gave when she's heard. She was like, nah. That was hilarious. She got her entire life in that moment with that laugh.
Yeah.
That was funny.
But Chris, he gets worse and worse every week.
Every week his attitude is terrible.
He's just trash.
But the thing that bothers me is Paige did a whole lot of facilitating this discussion when she didn't ask for this.
Yeah.
He sat there on mute while they had to pretty much talk this through, because he
gets off on it. He gets off on it. He's a little man. He's a little person.
I'm like, why is she the one spilling all her guts, Paige, to the both of them? Like, I wouldn't be saying nothing. I'd be posted up too. Like, okay, y'all don't call me here. So what you want to talk about?
He's trying to get them together. He gets off on them just being in the same room and talking because he feels like big man.
He feels wanted.
Well, he's a little man, bro.
So Paige goes on to say that
weak.
Paige does a whole lot of talking, and she talks about how pure her intentions are. She was sure to throw that in there like 11 times, that her intentions were pure. And the ex says, I want you to know too that I don't have any ill feelings towards you. And Paige also says the same, and says that she's at peace because this relationship no longer serves her. It's what she said. And Chris's attitude at that point goes straight to you know where.
So, everything's good.
Like I said, I'm not opposed to having a conversation.
I can't wait to eat and order food and read my Bible. Catch up on the games today. Today is Sunday, so I'm really excited about this. She's going to root forward.
She's not being rude.
She's being very rude.
No, she's not. Under circumstances, she's actually being very respectful and not
I don't paint the situation as if I just mistreated her the whole time. That's not the case.
I'm sorry that you are dragged into this as well.
Yeah, because he's not getting the praise. He's not center of attention. And just watch. Anytime any of the stuff he does affects one of the other, his wife, and the other females or anyone else gets her attention, he can't stand it because he's weak.
He is. So he starts to go off on a tangent. As he becomes dismissive, irritated, childish, he goes on a tangent about, I can't wait to, have dinner and read my Bible and catch up on the games.
Weak.
What are you doing? You asked me to come here again, same thing he did with the pastor and his friend, and then you start getting wild crazy in here.
I can't believe the show keep dealing with him. That's what I can't believe.
Yeah, that's true.
Like they're losing credibility, letting this man come on there
1,000%
and act an ass. Like
1,000%.
He said he wanted a divorce. Why haven't y'all kept him off camera?
Exactly. There's nothing to talk about.
Get a stand-in. Get someone that
they're doing this purely for entertainment.
Yeah. Tell Paige we're sorry. We're gonna hook you up in this. Do something.
We'll start the process.
Why are y'all giving him? I mean, they're giving him because we're all talking about him, but
because it does give the show energy, but it's unfair energy.
And without Chris,
this episode was dry as a Popeye's biscuit.
Yeah.
So at least it gives us something to give a little energy into. So lastly, they show Chris's ex having to defend Paige to say, you know what? Under the circumstances, she has been very respectful, because he starts going off about how she's not reciprocating respect to him, and he's been nothing but respectful to her in this situation. He is out of his biscuit. And then she goes on and the ex says, actually, she's been very respectful in this situation, especially with everything she's had to endure. And at that point, homeboy leaves.
Good.
He walks off set, and then I was so proud to see these two hug it out.
No longer serves me, because I need a man that is going to
the ex and Paige and move on with their lives. They're like, listen, we're not about to even create, no type of bad energy between us.
But did they really? Us.
I'm just telling you what I saw.
But did they really?
I just told you what I saw, and that was the end of this episode 8.
Thank God.
It was kind of painful. Ugh. Tell me, y'all. Drop your comments in the comment section below. What did you honestly think about episode 8? Did you enjoy this?
I loved the end.
To me, it was dry. To you?
Dry.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was like I need a drink dry. That's how. So dry, I didn't even get my drink this go round like I always do. So drop your comment in the comment section below. We love hearing from you. Also, please be sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button to support our channel. We're growing so much, it's insane. We love talking to you guys every week, and we will see you again next Friday. Thanks for watching, you guys.
Bye. I'm going to the garage.